All right, so picture this, right? You check into a hotel, but it's not just any hotel. It's got this, like, heavy vibe, a history. Whispers of suicides, unsolved mysteries, stuff that would make your skin crawl. And then imagine the last image of you alive is this grainy elevator security tape. And you're acting. Well, let's just say it's bizarre, unsettling, unexplainable.
Yeah.
That's Elisa Lam's story in a nutshell.
Yeah, it's a story that really gets under your skin, doesn't it? You've got a young woman, a hotel that just seems to ooze this unsettling energy, and then that elevator footage, it's a recipe for a mystery that just pulls you in.
Absolutely, and that's exactly what we're dowsing into today. The mysterious death of Elisa Lam. 213, the infamous Cecil Hotel in Los Angeles. We're talking facts, evidence, that creepy elevator video, the whole 9 yards. We're going to lay it all out there. Plus, we're digging into the theories, the plausible, the improbable, even the ones that make you want to sleep with the lights on.
We're going deeper than just the surface level, though, right? We're going to try to get inside this case, look at it from a psychological angle, unpack the weight of the Cecil Hotel's, let's call it colorful past, and try to figure out why this story, in particular, has captivated so many people around the world.
For sure. And a big part of that is Elisa herself. She was a 21-year-old Canadian student, loved to travel, always documenting her adventures on her blog, Nouvelle Nouveau. But her blog wasn't all sunshine and rainbows. Elisa was very open about her struggles, her battles with bipolar disorder and depression.
And that's where this case goes from tragic to truly puzzling. See, when you look at Elisa's blog, especially the entries she wrote before her trip, they become like these unintentional clues. Like were there changes in her lighting style, shifts in her tone, anything that might give us a glimpse into her state of mind leading up to her stay at the Cecil.
It's like her blog becomes this unintentional diary, a window into her world. And here's a key detail. Elisa was on medication to manage her bipolar disorder, a detail that becomes incredibly important as we unpack the events that unfolded.
It's not just about the medication itself, though. It's the potential impact of not taking it as prescribed. Bipolar disorder, it can manifest in really unpredictable ways, especially if medication is inconsistent. The highs can be higher, the lows lower, and the shifts between them, let's just say they can be pretty jarring.
And speaking of unsettling, can we talk about the Cecil Hotel for a second? This place, it's not exactly known for its relaxing atmosphere. I mean, the Cecil's got a history, right? A rap sheet longer than my arm. We're talking about a hotel that once hosted Richard Ramirez, the Night Stalker. Add to that, like a whole bunch of suicides, unexplained deaths. Let's just say it's got a reputation.
Right. You think about the weight of all that history, all that tragedy, almost absorbed into the walls of the place. It makes you wonder what kind of impact that environment could have had on someone like Elisa, someone already struggling, someone vulnerable. Did the Cecil, in a way, push her already fragile mental state over the edge? It's something to consider as we go deeper into this.
So Elisa's at this hotel, a place that could give you the creeps just by looking at it. And at first, it seems like her trip was okay. Her blog shows that, right? She's seeing the sights, going to the beach, typical tourist stuff. Then, January 31st, 2013 rolls around. That's checkout day, the day Elisa was supposed to head to Santa Cruz. But she's gone.
Completely vanishes. Poof. And her family, they knew right away that something was wrong, really wrong. They didn't waste a single minute reporting her missing, and thank goodness they didn't, because that one call set things in motion and led to the discovery of this piece of evidence, the elevator security footage. That's the thing that really blew this case wide open.
And let me tell you, this isn't some run-of-the-mill security tape, the kind with fuzzy images where you can barely make out what's happening. This footage, it gets to you, it sticks with you. If you haven't seen it, seriously, Google it later. But just to paint a picture for you.
So the footage starts and we see Elisa entering the elevator. She's alone. And right from the get-go, something's just off. Her behavior is strange, really strange, erratic, almost like she's agitated about something.
Yeah, it's like she's trying to hide, but from what? There's no one else there. And she keeps pushing all these buttons in the elevator over and over. It's like she's trying to get it to work, but it's stuck. And then, this is the part that gets me every time, she steps out of the elevator and looks down the hallway, both ways, left, right. You can just feel the fear, the paranoia radiating off of her. It's like she sees something that we can't see on camera.
Yeah, and the whole time this is happening, get this, the elevator doors, they never actually close. They keep opening and closing, as if something is preventing them from shutting. Like even the elevator's in on it.
Okay, see, chills. So what's the deal with her behavior? Some people say it was a manic episode, right? Maybe brought on by her bipolar disorder, especially if she wasn't taking her medication like she was supposed to.
Yeah, that's definitely a possibility. Remember we talked about those missing medications earlier? Well, mania, it can manifest in some pretty intense ways. Hallucinations, paranoia, people acting in ways that don't make sense. It's tragic, but it could explain what we're seeing in that footage.
But, and maybe it's just me, but there's this part of me that wonders if it could be something else. Because, and this is the big one, even if we say, okay, maybe it was a mental health episode, how did she end up in the Cecil Hotel's rooftop water tank? That's the part that doesn't add up.
And that's what makes this whole case so baffling. To get to those tanks, it wasn't like strolling into your backyard. This was a restricted area, locked doors, alarms, the whole shebang. It wasn't easy to get up there.
And we're not talking about some little water tanks either, right? These were huge, like industrial-sized things, heavy, difficult to open. You don't just accidentally end up in one of those.
Exactly. So you've got this young woman struggling with mental health, acting really strangely in a hotel known for its creepy history, and then she vanishes. No trace. Only to be found weeks later in a place that seems almost impossible to reach. It's a lot to wrap your head around.
So weeks go by, right? No Elisa, no answers. Can you imagine? Her family, I mean, it just breaks your heart thinking about what they must have gone through. And then, as if this whole thing couldn't get any stranger, guests at the Cecil start complaining about the water.
And not just like, oh, the pressure's a little low kind of complaints. People are saying the water tastes weird, like metallic. It's got this off smell. Even the color's not right. It's like the building itself is trying to tell us something's wrong.
Exactly. So, naturally, hotel maintenance, they go to check it out, right? Figure out what's going on with the water. And that's when they find her, Elisa, inside one of the rooftop water tanks.
It's a horrifying thing to think about, isn't it? Trapped up there, all alone. And it's like, how did she even get in there? We've already talked about how difficult it was to even reach those tanks.
Right, the locked doors, the alarms, the sheer effort of moving those heavy lids. It just, It didn't make sense. We were hoping the autopsy would clear things up, provide some much needed answers.
Well, the official cause of death, it was ruled an accidental drowning. There were no signs of a struggle, no drugs in her system other than the medication she was prescribed. But, and this is important, the toxicology report showed that not all of Elisa's medications were present in her system at the time of her death. The levels weren't consistent with her prescribed dosage.
So we're back to square one, right? Her mental state. Is it possible that Elisa experienced a severe manic episode? Could that have led her to the roof to that tank?
It's certainly within the realm of possibility. Bipolar disorder is complex, and if she wasn't taking her medication as prescribed, those shifts in mood, the distorted perceptions, the impulsivity, it can lead to unpredictable, even dangerous behavior.
But even if that's the case, how do you explain the logistics of it all? Even in a state of crisis, how did Elisa get past the security measures, the locked doors, the physical challenges of those water tanks? It's no wonder this case has generated so many theories, so many different explanations.
Of course. You have to consider the possibility of foul play, right? Could someone have taken advantage of Elisa's vulnerability? Perhaps lured her to the roof with malicious intent? It's a disturbing thought, but you can't rule it out completely.
And then there are the theories that tap into the whole Cecil Hotel mystique, right? Some people believe Elisa was a victim of the hotel itself, its energy, the darkness that seems to permeate the building.
Those paranormal explanations, they're definitely intriguing, especially when you factor in that elevator footage. But as with most paranormal theories, concrete evidence is hard to come by.
In the end, we're left with a young woman gone too soon, her final hours shrouded in mystery. It's a case that challenges us to confront the limits of what we know, the intersection of mental health, the unexplained, and the enduring power of the unknown.
It sticks with you, doesn't it? The Elisa Lam case. It's a reminder that sometimes, even with all the evidence in the world, some mysteries they refuse to be solved.
It really makes you think, what happened to Elisa Lam? It's a question that lingers long after the credits roll.
Well, that's it for our deep dive into the Elisa Lam case. We'll be back next time with another look into the strange and the unexplained. Until then, stay curious, everybody.